First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dupten Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. And homage to the main deity of Homa today, the Adharma Buddha. Sumo, Duten Siddhi Rinpoche, all Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Our participating VIPs today are the Chief Secretary of the Taiwan government, Mr. Zheng Peifu and Mrs. Zheng, the Council from Tainan City, Mr. Tsai Wang Quan, from the Zhongshan Medical College affiliated Plastic Surgery Department, the head of the department, Dr. Zheng Senlong, and the distinguished professor, Professor Wang Jingxian, Professor Wang Li, Professor Mai Yihong, Professor Tsai, Professor Gu, Professor Ye Shuwen, Professor Hong, and Dr. Yo Jiangchen, and the General Manager of the Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizhen, and from the National Security to be Colonel, Mr. Tan, and from Vietnam, the Zongjin Enterprise Chairman of the Board, Mr. Deng, and his disciple from 400 years ago. And from Hawaii, the Director of TACO, Mr. Lei, and from Guam, the PIC Director, Ms. Zheng Yi, General Manager, and the President of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, Master Chang Ren, Director of the Lotus Light Charity Society of Taiwan, Mr. Li Chunyang, producers for Kini Tiansang Xinten from CTI TV Taiwan, Ms. Rebecca Xiaqi, and for the Great Perfection Dharma Havaja Exposition to Messages of Tantayana, the producer, Master Lian Yu, and the host, Master Lian Hai. My sister Lu Shengmei Nüsi, my sister Lu Guoyin Nüsi, and my husband. And thank you to Dharma Brother Lin Donghan and Dharma Sister Chen Xiangjie for their donation of 100,000 NT dollars. Good afternoon, everybody. How do you do?
Good afternoon. Selamat siang, selamat petang. Sawadika, kamsahamnida. Sawadji. And te quiero mucho. Hola, amigo. Te quiero mucho.这个好像不念也不行，因为有位萨瓦迪卡的师姐。
I have to say this because we have a Sawadika Dharma sister from Thailand, and they're watching the webcast, and they would say that we forgot to say Sawadika, and the people at the chapter would say, "Oh, Grandmaster forgets." Actually, we still have many chapters, like in Germany, Dutch, Germany, and France. And many other countries, like Ambassador Liao was in Sweden, or is in Sweden now, and also in Switzerland. In Europe, we have so many chapters. So if I forget to say my greeting, they would say, "Oh, Grandmaster forgets." So I have to go through them all. But prior to the Dharma teaching, I would like to say that we will go to Lien Sung chapter on the 22nd evening. 22nd evening. And I will transmit the breaking of evil of the nine winds. So there's the command, the talisman, and the mantra for this kind of alchemy. This is to purify all the altars and to purify any place, and to purify your homes, and to purify the villages. So this is a very So if you recite the mantra, that this is very famous in Taoism, then you can cast away all the evil energy and negativities. So it's Wednesday evening that we will go to the Lien Sung chapter. And then we will go to Kaohsiung on March 26th at the exhibition center in Kaohsiung. And I will transmit the home Tara, home sound Tara. So the 5th Tara of the 21 Taras, very special one, with one home 6th syllable. Everything will be born from home sound, and the sound of home, from the home character inside our heart chakra, and then from our throat, and then when you recite it with this home sound, you can do purification, enhancement, subjugation, and magnetization. You can do all of them. So I would like to expound on the home character, how it arises, how to visualize it, and when you chant it from your mouth, where this character will reach and what functions it has. And it will be a debut transmission. This is the first time I transmit the home Tara. With the debut transmission, sometimes, I talk about it here, but other people make use of it. And sometimes on the internet, you would see that there is like a Mahayana monk that's also teaching the Manohara, wealth attracting goddess. And also the White Lotus King that I transmitted in Hong Kong also became somebody else's. And he also chanted Om Guru Rinzong Siddhi Hom. But I think that's good too, that he imitated my Dharma transmission. But this home Tara, I bet that he would also teach this not long after I do it. It's okay, although he's not from Buddha school, as long as he benefit or take advantage of it. That's also a kind of salvation for sentient beings. And in April, I will transmit the Dharma of White Tara. April 16th, I will transmit the White Tara. And it is also the first time, because I never talked about her exposition before. And White Tara is one of the 3 longevity deities. So Amitayus, Ushnisha Vijaya, and White Tara. So if you have read the precious sword of the yogi, those were dialogues between Grandmaster and White Tara. And White Tara, I can say, is also Grandmaster's spiritual companion. So Grandmaster has a deep and profound affinity with Grandmaster, with White Tara. So it is worthy for everybody to attend. It's
婚姻度日
priceless.
是无价，
And the
白
home
度日
Tara
也
is
是无价。
priceless. Red Tara also is priceless.
九奉破会真言法
And
也
the
是
casting
无价
off
的。
evil of the 9 phoenix also priceless.
欢迎大家参加，欢迎大家参加。
I hope that you will
另外
attend.
呢，我再讲解一个，
And
要讲解什么？哇，
what did I want to say?
哦，对了，我
Right.
们所谓的供养、供品、
Offerings.
大家记住，
Offering items and offerings.
不是只有用食物去供养才是供养。
That offerings do not consist of just food, but flowers, incense, lamps, tea, fruit you can offer, and also good things you can offer. Rocks you can offer. Why did I say rocks?
你知道石头最贵的是什么？
You know the most expensive rocks? They are diamonds.
宝石也是石头，
And the jewels are also rocks. And you can offer all those.
眼镜是名牌，也可以供养。
And if you have
供养
brand name eyeglasses, yes, you can offer it too. Offer them too.
妙观察智，
Why? You want to offer glasses?
这是我讲的。
And Hui Jin said, so that you have wisdom of
还有
observation.
一点聪明，
I didn't say that. Hui Jin said that, so
我以为啊，
Hui Jin is
你
smart
始终是
too.
很笨，
I thought you
但
were
是你今天
dumb.
讲出妙观察智，哎，
But when today you
还蛮
said
有智慧
the
的，
wisdom of observation,
大智若愚，
you sounded
大智若愚。
wise. So that the wise one looked dumb.
我记得有一个故事是这样的，
There's a story that I
有一
remembered.
个这个天主教的一个修士，他还没有当修士以前，
There was a
他是在马戏团，
Catholic nun,
马戏团做
and before that,
表演杂手，
she was in
表演
the
杂手。
what's that called? The
他在
acrobatics
活菩萨的面前，
circus
他想到这个供养，
as the acrobat,
他
and
跟
in
玛
front
利
of
亚
the
哎，不是的，天主教啊
in
没有活菩萨
Catholicism, not to the
天主教是
Buddhists,
圣
but
母玛利亚
to Maria.
圣母玛利亚的雕像在哪里？他跟圣母玛利亚祈祷。
So she prayed to Maria, Saint Maria, that I'm a very poor nun. I don't have anything to offer to you. But in the past, I was in the circus,
顶在头上，可以跳在肩膀上，可以从这个左边的肩膀
and
移到右边的肩膀。
like if you place a ball on the head, that to the
他的背
left shoulder, to the right shoulder,
转到胸前，
and the ball
转到后面。
can roll in the
然
back.
后呢，他可以用两个膝盖把球弹来弹去，这样子弹。
And then would bounce the ball with
然后他躺下来，
using her two knees,
撑着那个
or you lay, he laid, she
甚至三个球
lies on her back,
啊，这样子踢过
and
来
then
踢过去，三个球
bouncing
在
the
那
balls all over with her feet,
他说
and
他只有会这样，
she
所以
said
他就
that's
用
all
他
she
的
can
马
do.
戏团的杂手
So
供养圣母
she
玛
used
啊，
her acrobatic skill or performance as an offering to Maria.
圣母玛利亚面
Whether there are people around or not, that's what she did.
这个很多人看，
And many
都觉
people
得
saw
这个
it.
修士实在太
And many
对
people
圣
saw
母玛
that.
利亚是一种侮辱，他们觉得是一种侮辱。他说不庄严，这
And
种
they
供养怎
thought
么可以？
that
没想
that's
到他跟圣
an
母玛利亚祈祷，他说我什么都不会，
that's
就会这个
offensive.
那我就会
How
这个供
could
养你。
she make an offering
没
of
有想到
that?
圣母玛利亚既然从法座上面
But
这个坐
little
下
did they
来，
know that
还给
the
他抹顶，
Mother
说你这个
Maria
供养是世界
actually
上最好
descended
最好的供养。
and blessed her and said that this is the best kind of offering.
所以师尊认为啊，你会什么？
So
你可以供养佛
that's
菩萨
why, in Grandmaster's opinion,
同样的道理，
you
因为我
can
只有会这个，我把我
you can make
的
offering of your skills to the Buddhas and
我的
Bodhisattvas.
特技供养
If that's what you're expert at,
佛菩萨
then
可以
you offer your expertise to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas,
所以
and the
你看
Buddhas
我
and
们阳光共
Bodhisattvas
同
would be happy to accept it. So,
因为
like the
不是的
Sunny
阳光
Line
共同
Dance
并
Group,
不是舞蹈这个穿迷你裙或者在
it's
那个
not
上面
about
跳来跳去，
dances
那
and
个也
mini
是供养，
skirts, but that's
所以
also
一
an
样的。
offering,
为
or
什么？
also the
唱歌
voices from heaven,
也是供养佛菩萨，
choir group.
你唱歌，
The
佛菩萨
singing
面
is
前
also
唱
an
歌，
offering to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. You sing in front of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, that's also a kind of
所以
offering.
大家不用顾忌，
So
你会
please
什么
don't have any
你就供
reservation.
养什么。
So
就是
whatever
你
you're
心
skilled
里发
at,
出来
you
的，
offer
我
that.
用我会的供养给佛菩萨，佛菩萨
So you
会欢
offer
喜
whatever
接
you're
受
good at to
接
the
受你的供
Buddhas
养。
and Bodhisattvas,
无
and the
论什么，
Buddhas and Bodhisattvas
你
would
会什么，
happily
你
accept
都
it.
可以供养。
So whatever you're skilled at or your
虽
expertise
然我讲
can
过
be
这个
offered.
阳光舞共团，
Although I have said that the Sunny Line Dance Group
年轻的这个
has 5 of its members, the younger members, that got married. 5 of them got married this year. So the rest are just the elderly
像师母，
or the
资深美女啊，
middle age
你看啊，
beauties like Simu.
70岁了，
Look at her, she's 70. And she sacrificed
还有
herself.
几个那个欧巴桑啊，
And a number of the
现在
older
只要
ladies
出来跳舞，大部分都是欧巴桑。
nowadays, the dancers are all middle age. I don't know where the younger
佩服
girls have gone.
阳光舞共团的精神，
But it doesn't matter, we still admire their spirit.
虽然阳光舞共团不是什
Although
么阳光的，
the Sunny Line Dance Group is not sunny anymore, it's like
阳
the
光舞共团也可以。他
the
们
old
听我这样
ladies
说了以后他们讲说，
line dance group.
我们应该要开始招生了，阳光舞共团要开始招生。
But after my saying this, maybe they would start recruiting younger girls.
16岁到25岁，
Only girls from 16 to 25.
周子怡一样
And they all have to look
另外，我们这活动还有一
nice.
个就是生活营，有没有？
And we also have
生
the
活营
youth
每年
camp
办的啦，雷上是办的是吧？
of life that's organized by the late Taiwan Temple, right?
对对对，他们都合办的，世界合办。
It's
那么
organized
这个博士教授团有
by
一
the
件
world And the scholars group has a recommendation that each chapter of Taiwan and each temple at Taiwan would send someone young to attend the youth camp. And the professors of the scholar groups can be the instructors and share their knowledge and expertise with the youth. They can become the advisors. And they expect that each temple and chapter in Taiwan would send someone young to the youth camp, so that through the school will become younger and younger, and we will develop the younger generation. And Master Lien Miao told me the other day that the fact that Master Lien Teng could attain Buddhahood, there was a hand that's been pushing him, and that hand is Master Lien Miao. And that is the truth. Because Master Lien Miao is the support of Master Lien Teng. And asking him to practice, to cultivate spiritually, to maintain his peace and stability until he saw through, he transcended the life and death. Because this is important, because human beings typically prefer life over death. They prefer life over death, but actually that's wrong. You need to know that there is no life and no death. You need to understand this concept in order to have peace of mind. Like when you're sick, how do you maintain the peace and serenity of being sick? And Master Lien Teng could do it, but Grandmaster could not. When I was having problems with my legs, pain, swollen, and with the cellulitis, Dr. Zheng Seng Long cured me for a period of 2 months and have applied many different kinds of medicines before it worked. And they subsided. And all the antibiotics, the strongest antibiotics, was very excruciating. Like on the Dharma throne, I was crying and grieving to everybody. But look at Master Lien Teng. He didn't even drop a tear. So he was a true hero. But Grandmaster is just a small hero. He was the great hero. So the way he faced death, how he faced death, so he must need a support behind him. And he always placed his lineage guru on top of his head, and he didn't know that I cried when I get sick. But he transcended life and death, and that's how great he was. And Master Lien Miao was also his support, and Grandmaster too was his support. So that's what I need to learn from him, from Master Lien Teng. So Master Lien Teng actually had a very soft heart. Because he placed me on his head, so he let me cry instead of him. So he had such great faith, and so he had power. So because he believed it, he had his reliance on the lineage guru. So with that power of faith, he could transcend life and death. So let me tell you that studying Buddhism, in our Buddhist studies, that no life and no death is extremely important. So the first test to attainment is the transcendence of life and death. If you can't transcend life and death, if you're still attached to the world, and you can't transcend life and death, and also the family members cannot transcend the life and death. So in our spiritual cultivation, we have to be able to transcend life and death. That you view life and death and life and death, and after numerous times, that your life and death are the same as those of other beings. That with birth, there must be death. You need to contemplate on this concept. So at birth, where do you come from? And at death, where do you go? And what is the purpose of coming to this world? And what is the purpose of your life or of living? What is the meaning of your life? You need to think, where were you before birth? And where will you be after death? And why am I alive? And what is the meaning of your life? Of my life? And this can only be done by the great man. So you need to be clear about this. And Dr. Cheng said that at his hospital, 1 year, there were 4 that got cancer. And they were all young and got cancer. So think about it. Young doctors. So at his hospital, there were 4 young doctors that got cancer and died in a year, and within 1 year. And doctors were the ones that were supposed to cure patients, and yet they got cancer. They died from cancer. So that's why we want to make best use of our time. To be diligent in our spiritual cultivation. at birth, where do you come from? You need to understand. And where do you go after death? You need to know. And what is the purpose of living? And what is the most meaningful thing? You need to know. And the Buddha has told us all the answers. Let me tell you, the primordial Buddha, the Adi Buddha, the Adharma Buddha is one, or Tatu, number one, Tatu. In Pali, Tatu is number one. The first deity, the primordial Buddha. By receiving his empowerment, you gain his meaning, and then you create affinity or connection with all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and all divinities. So Adi Buddha is truly great. All tantric dharma, including the Mahamudra of Kagyupa, Great Perfection Dharma Dokchen of Nyingmapa, Yamantaka of Gelugpa, Lamdre of Sakyapa, all came from his body. He's the Vajradhara, Samantabhadra Tathagata, the Dorje Chang. He has many names, and he is the Adharma Buddha, which is the main deity of our Homa today. And there's no need to talk more about this Buddha. He's number one, Tatu, which is the number one greatest Buddha. What time is it now? 5:36. Oh my God. Almost time for dinner, and I haven't even started on Lamdre. Now let's talk a little bit about Lamdre, because we all know about Adharma Buddha and the mudra. Inward claps, and then the two thumbs upright. That's the mudra of Adharma Buddha. Or you can also form this mudra, the two hands crossing at your chest, holding the Vajrabhalan scepter. Holding Vajra scepters. And the consort is the Mahaswara Buddha Mother, or Samantabhadri. And the Buddha Father represents the expedient means, and the Buddha Mother represents wisdom. By the union of the expedient means and wisdom, that Buddha Dharma would appear. Just expedient means, that would be mundane. Without wisdom, that would be mundane. But with wisdom, the perfect universal wisdom, this kind of wisdom is the most perfect. It's the supreme wisdom of the Tathagata. In order to manifest it, we need the expedient means. That's why the Adi Buddha transmitted to the five Dhyani Buddhas, to the Vajrasattva, and from Vajrasattva to the Tantrayana, all the way down. So today, I'll talk about the first question. What are the reasons of the first kind of guru, who is known according to the path, and the other three kinds of gurus who are known according to the realization? And according to the great yogi of self-mastery, Virupa, this is the answer. merely based on the two concepts of establishing the realization based on understanding and meditative experiences. The first kind of guru based it on his hearing and contemplating to stop the mundane marvels, based on his comprehension that everything is intrinsically void. But this is not the most important part. The rest of the gurus based it on the real meanings of self and their concurrent access. This is the most important. With this understanding, the various empowerment practitioners and its related development stage are not considered the most profound. And so a true seeing. So the first kind of guru is based on his hearing and contemplation. So like all of you hear and you contemplate. So you think with your mind and you stop all the improper ones, the improper things. That's the first kind of empowerment. What you hear, what you contemplate, have no base. That's the first kind of empowerment, a kind of empowerment. To stop the marvels, that you add a lot of thoughts, a lot of thinking. This word, qi, can be explained like for age, Simu is 70 and the age beauty, and then the new members would be from 16 to 25 that they look like Zhou Ziyi. And looking at them would increase your thoughts, and you need to stop those. You would let you have all kinds of thoughts, but you need to stop those. And last time I said, and someone is a womanizer, and I asked him to do the practice of the white bone visualization. And I said, but why do you still have that desire? And he said, because there's flesh on the white bones. But in this white bone practice, you need to just visualize the white bones. You cannot visualize the flesh on the bones and then the skin, and then they look as beautiful as Zhou Ziyi, the actress. Then you would be dead. So we all need to do the practice of the white bone visualization. And that's just the beginning, superficial and guided. And what is the realization? You truly see, and you intake the air, and the outflow of the air, you truly experience. And you experience personally the vital energy moving smoothly in the central channel. And you truly see, and that's true, that's real. And that's called realization. and you truly see your inner fire that's been ignited, that the light drops, the water, has truly descended, and you truly have opened your central channels and opened your 5 chakras. That's your realization. When you close your eyes, you know that the fires are rising and the water is dripping and the heart chakra is opening, including the bowel chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the navel chakra, and the secret chakra. That all the chakras are open and you see light. And that's the emergence of the light. And this kind of seeing is the emergence of the light. So the first kind of empowerment, the vase empowerment, is just an outer empowerment, is to guide you toward dawn. And the following empowerments of the white and red flower, the highest Yoga Tantra empowerment and great perfection empowerment, is empowerments based on the realization you truly see the chi flowing smoothly inside the central channel. During the Treasure Vase Energy Yoga, you would know the chi inside the central channel. Once you truly see it, then you can gain the empowerment of the red and white flowers. And you practice and you truly ignite your inner fire and you have attainments in the non-leaking practice. And the light drops practice, as the light drops drip, then you can get the empowerment of the highest Yoga Tantra. And you truly have generated light and you can see the light, the emergence of the light, then you can receive the great perfection empowerment. And the light would emerge. So that's the 4 kinds of empowerments. So of these 4 empowerments, there's the vase empowerment practitioners, and its related development stage is not considered the most profound. But between the body and the mind, the development stage relies mostly on the mind, and its realization and spiritual experiences arise gradually, and its path slow and sluggish. And the first kind of guru is therefore named based on the establishment of the path based on the causal placement, because they are the preliminary practices of the development stage. And the path of the development stage can access the common ports of the paramita yana or the bodhisattva path, as well as the secret yana, merely by grasping the key formula of the mind, and the concepts of establishing their realizations are also the same. So the names come from this. The husband is cooking at home and make the braised soy sauce hog legs. And he placed a coin on it. And why? Because the recipe book said that it needs the ba jiao, which is the anise, but in Chinese sounded like 80 cents. So it's actually the name of an herb, not 80 cents. And he said he couldn't find 80 cents, so he placed a dollar coin. So of course that's wrong. So when we explain these 4 kinds of empowerments, is to make you understand what they are. And of course, you have to be at the levels to receive the appropriate empowerments. You need to practice the qi in order to receive the empowerment, not by placing a $1 coin. There's discrepancy in that. So you need to understand the true meaning. If you truly see the opening of the central channel in order to receive the second level empowerment, and when the inner fire is ignited and you have attainment in the non-leaking practice and the light drops have dripped, then you can receive the highest yoga tantra, the third level empowerment. And you can truly see your own light at your body in order to receive the fourth level empowerment. That's how it is. And without the body, you can only receive the first level empowerment of Tantrayana. In a severe argument, the wife suggested there are two ways to stop our arguments. Then one is I admit that I'm right. And how about the second one? And the wife replied, then we all agree that you're wrong. Either we both agree that I'm right, or we both agree that you're wrong. Of course, because the wife is wiser. And in Tantrayana, females represent wisdom, and the males represent the expedient means or skillful means. That's how it's explained in Tantrayana. The applause was just few and far in between. You need to applaud like that in order to stay awake. The dad brought a bento, and the teacher said, oh, Xiaoming's dead? You're awake. That's a miracle. And the dad asked why. And the teacher showed him Xiaoming's article that said that the dad is a vegetative, sick person, like in coma, that actually is like a plant person. Actually, he's an expert on plant. So when he got home, he was scolded by the dad. So that's why we cannot miss a word. So Grandmaster's explanation is to let you to understand about Lamdre. 4 kinds of empowerments, 4 kinds of gurus, 4 kinds of causes, 4 kinds of fruitions. And they all need to be explained clearly. I cannot skip a word. Then I would become a vegetable person. Actually, it's a vegetable expert. Or plant expert. Plant person. The 4 kinds of gurus in Chinese would be like Master, Vajra Master, the Great Vajra Master, and Vajradhara Vajra Master. That's how we differentiate them. So once you understand if you understand all 4 kinds, then only then you would be called the Vajradhara Vajra master. You need to comprehend, and you need to have truly seen that you have truly seen the opening of the central channel, your own central channel, in order to ask for the second level empowerment. Once you have ignite your inner fire and you have fruition in the non-leaking practice, and you have the dripping of the light drops in order to receive the third level empowerment. And once you generate light and luminosity, then there would be the fourth level empowerment. Now it's clear, so please don't ask improperly, because if you ask out of order, and because Grandmaster doesn't want to say no, but yet you're not qualified, then you would become like a plant person. But once you're qualified, then you would become the plant expert. That's the difference. Oh, my goodness.